We had some anniversaries in September. Charlie, you're here. Tell us what if you and Mark got to do anything special.
We did. We made wonderful dinner and stayed home and did nothing. It was awesome.
That can be special.
Very simple.
Any particular thing you like to make for that anniversary dinner? You and Mark?
Mark is a wonderful cook, and he surprised me with surf and turf.
Ooh,
yeah,
very
so
nice.
It was very nice, and a very nice, very, very nice bottle of wine.
Excellent.
It was wonderful.
Well, great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Carol, you on the call? Not seeing Carol. We'll hop to Karen. Is Karen on the call? No, I don't see Scott Hunt. Joyce is here though. Let's go right to Joyce.
Well, hi everybody. We just stayed home and had a nice dinner and hung outside on the deck, which you can see here in the background, and had a quiet time. We've been traveling to Sacramento a lot, but I'll tell you why later. But we were home for our anniversary.
Very
Thanks.
Nice. Thank you, Joyce. Congratulations. I don't see Mark on the call. I did, just so the club knows, Mark is still out there. He responded to the call about translators, so I know he's still out there doing something. Bob, are you on the call? And I know you and Susan. Okay, I saw something about Larapin to go.
We did that, I think, Monday night this week.
Okay.
But our anniversary was back on the 20th. And we took our new little camper van and went down to Fort Bragg and stayed with some friends and rode our bikes around and had a great time. It was just a beautiful weekend down there.
Excellent.
41 years.
Wow. Congratulations. Well done. Well done. And Dan and Johnson, Dan Johnson and Kendra enjoyed the anniversary this month too. Hopefully somebody's seeing them out there in the community. Could only find one birthday for September. I don't know what's going on. Nobody wants to be with me. Did I miss somebody, or am I it? Yeah, see, I'm still confused. I don't know what's going on. You look at that gaze in my eyes going, Mom, Dad, I don't know what's up. Anyway, I didn't do much of anything for my birthday. I worked, I came home, but Elizabeth did make probably not probably. It was the very best dark chocolate Jewel Distillery blackberry liqueur infused cheesecake that I've ever had. It was amazing. And we just had the last slice last night because it's just the two of us eating this giant cheesecake. So extended birthday joys there. Got a little bit of community news. I've got a sad and a happy. We'll start with the sad so we can end on a happy. Scott, do you want to fill us in on your knowledge of what's going on at the Bayside Community Hall? I know our club has put in a ton of work over there over the years and has utilized that facility.
Yeah, sure. It was also, you can read about it in yesterday's Mad River Union. So what happened is quite a while ago, the Grange organization started realizing that their buildings and locations used to be out in the middle of nowhere. And they were in the middle of all of these rangelands, and because of urban sprawl, they've been sort of absorbed by all these communities, and then adopted by the communities, as was the case with Bayside. So what they realized a while ago was that there was value in these properties that they had previously abandoned, and started an effort to claim them, to take them back, and that happened to the Bayside Grange, or Bayside Community Hall as it was. And they had hired, as they do, volunteers to do their efforts to try to combat the Grange, but of course the Grange is a huge organization, and we kind of, I guess, dropped the ball and lost the Grange recently. Lost the hall. The Grange recently seized all of their property, and that's the buildings and their funds. And if you look at the article and some of the stuff that was written about them, we had about $30,000 in assets in cash, and they seized the bank account, and they're about ready to seize the actual physical property. Well, they will come on with sheriffs and change the locks on the doors. So right now, the hope is that the Grange will continue offering the hall for all of the events and activities that were there prior to the Grange taking over, but that's a big unknown. The membership of the hall are not the members of the Grange and haven't been for years. So we don't know how accepting the new Grange management will be with the way the hall and the people of the hall have been running the facility. So right now they have no money. So right now they're trying to get funding somehow off the books so that it doesn't become seized funds also, but they're trying to keep the Grange open and keep it active because they have expenses. The building's got to pay its bills and they have no way of doing that without their account. So if you can go on the Mad River Union website, there's a pretty good article there that explains what's happened recently. If you want, there's a way of contacting the hall itself still and finding the history a bit. Supposedly, I guess we had a lawyer that dropped the ball and missed a deadline. And now that there are new lawyers fighting the fight. And I guess we're in an appeal process, but because of COVID, the appeals courts are way backed up and it's going to take some time to appeal. And in the meantime, we have no funding, or excuse me, they have no funding. I haven't been involved in quite a while. We sort of had a parting of the ways when I was trying to do construction there. And I don't work well by committee or taking instructions from a board. So they continue to do the work. Of course, the kitchen came out beautiful. If you haven't been by, you got to see that. The facility itself has been well run and is very active. So it's unfortunate for everybody and for all the money and time that we've spent in it, and for everybody that's been involved in what's been going on there. And thank you for all of that, but we'll see where this goes in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. We appreciate the personal efforts that you put into that building, and you know, as a spot of light, even though it is very, very likely permanently changing hands, all the work we did in it, there were many years of great service to our community here that we had a hand in, and who knows, maybe it'll get carried forward if the Grange organization does the right thing. So we are fingers crossed. More community. Jennifer, I know you had some news from the Arcata school board this last week. I'm pretty sure just about anybody who grew up in this community knows of or knows James Washington, if you've been to Arcata High at all. Any insights there, Jennifer?
No, except for, you know, this, even right now, our homecoming, you know, football game is being held on the McKinleyville High Track. And it's unfortunate that it doesn't look like this field was really set up to ever have anything more than just, you know, track and field, which is going to be amazing, of course, baseball down there. But it's also just unfortunate that they've put this pretty much on James's programs like cross country and track and field to do this fundraising for having grandstands so we can have, you know, crowds down there. So I don't know if it was just, I don't know if they just didn't plan well with the original budget or what, but it's unfortunate, but it would be great to be able to have, you know, stands down there. So
maybe
yeah.
I missed, or maybe myself and most of the members missed a part of this.
Oh, sorry.
So is there an effort to have Arcata High have its own track on
yes.
on campus?
Okay. Sorry. I'm getting ready at the same time right now. Yes. So if you've driven by over by Sunset, you can see that the field has been is completely being reworked, and they are currently laying down the new track right now. I think it's turf. I haven't been down there, but it will be a practice field for football, not a playing field for football, apparently. But really important that James, after coaching for 30 something years, will actually have a home track to have track meets down there. So yes, so we do have a new field that should be complete this spring, but we don't have the building project did not include grandstands or bleachers. So that's what they're fundraising for currently.
So we get a track,
Great.
but we need some accessories to
Yes.
make it a very usable community track.
But the amazing thing about this is that our board meeting did approve that the track and field will be named for James Washington, who has been such a beloved member of our community for so long. So that is exciting. We don't have anything at Arcata High named after a single person. And James is the first and is so deserving.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. Well, thanks for sharing, Jen. I appreciate it. That's JOYC, after a little bit of a hiatus, making many visits elsewhere that we'll see a little later. Who's this? What's going on? We got some recognitions this morning.
So Bob, you gave a little bit of a hint about stuff, but you want to share more information about this picture for us?
Sure. That was down in Fort Bragg. A great bicycling area, McCarricker State Park, place we had never been to before. But yeah, there's a paved path for you to ride for miles and miles and miles around the beach and so forth. So anyway, it was a good time. That's our new little Winnebago van. Looking forward to retiring soon and sneaking around the country in that. So that's the plan.
Well, that's exciting. Thanks, Bob. Thanks for sharing.
Sure. Uh-huh.
Bob, are you outfitting that van yourself, or did it come fully ready?
No, that I'm doing little things to it, but it was a ready-made product, and that was one of the reasons we went with it. It just didn't have to have the time to build out and do cabinetry and stuff like that. It's ready to go.
Excellent. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, Jeff, Chris, are you here to tell us about this one?
Yeah, this is for a golf tournament for the Rotary Youth Exchange. And so we were able to, at the last minute, throw a team together. Chris I just asked him, it was great. Hader came, asked us if we could put a team together. And I think within 5 minutes, Ron Perry, Kirk Cahoon, and Chris Hemphill just said yes. And I went, yay. So we did that as a fundraising for them. And it was a wonderful time.
Yeah,
How'd you do as a team?
What's that?
I wanted to add in something here right now. That photo is really representative of our team in that you can see how tall I am in there. I'm the tallest guy in there. We took the picture and made sure I stood in the hill.
Good work.
How'd the team do in the placings?
Chris, you want to do your line?
I missed that class. Want to do your line?
Oh, yeah. So later on during the evening, we told everybody that we came in second.
Oh, that's right. He did come in second.
With a bit of a pause to last, but we had a great time. So,
well, thanks for being there. I know that the fundraiser's intent is to help fund potential exchange students who could not otherwise afford it and don't have the family support to raise funds. So thank you for being part of that. That's a big part of restarting the exchange program for 2022-23. Thank you. New grandchild, who's grandma?
So Lori's not with us today that I
Oh.
see, but this is Lori's new grandbaby. And we'll have to, so everybody, if you send her a note and say congratulations, looking very cute there.
We'll have to have Lori come around and just a live view.
And
Went to
Terry,
visit this old friend.
you want to tell us about this?
Well, Marty and I had a great time in New York City. We went for 10 days, and we one of the things we really appreciated about it was how careful they were about COVID protection. Every restaurant we ate in wanted to see our card, our COVID vaccination card, and we went to 4 Broadway shows, and we had to show our ID, our COVID card, and then wear our mask during the shows. So it was nice to be in this great city again and feel really safe and protected too. The weather was perfect. We had great food. We caught up with, well, with this lady, but with another friend who lives a little north of there in Hastings on Hudson. So we took the train up there and, you know, got out of the hubbub of the city for a day. And we had a wonderful time, and we're anxious to go back next year.
So Terry, what plays did you see?
We saw we saw a play called Six, S-I-X, about the 6 wives of Henry VIII. And reading about it, I thought, they're making a musical about, that's an interesting topic for it. But it was great. The music was fabulous. The cast was the 6 wives, and the band was 4 women. So it was a very, had kind of a feminist bent on an interesting part of history. We saw Waitress, and we were hoping to see Sarah Bareilles in it because she was in it that week. But the night we were there, she wasn't. The understudy was great. We saw Lackawanna Blues, which was a 2-person show, which we highly recommend. And then we saw American Utopia, our last night there, with David Byrne of the Talking Heads, and he brought the roof down. It was great.
Well, that's exciting. We'll have to check in with you if anybody's heading that direction.
Hey,
Thanks.
Marty, I'm not really a jealous kind of person, but I got a little green when I saw that you got to see David Byrne. That's pretty cool.
He was
Fantastic,
he was
yeah.
amazing. It was
The
a
whole
great
group, the
show.
percussion and-
We bought the soundtrack. That's how much we liked
Awesome.
it.
All right. Glad you had a great trip, and good to hear that they're doing their part to keep everybody as safe as possible over there. Is that jumping out of a perfect good airplane? Greg, do you approve this activity? I don't think Charlie's on the call this morning.
Charlie's on the call, but my goodness. So jumping out of a plane, everybody. So
yeah,
we'll have to ask her about that.
make sure to, if you see her on the community, give her a good hug and tell her we're glad that she got down safe. Another grandma who's going to claim this one.
So I'm claiming this one. This is Lacey's baby. I was gone for a month. She's in Sacramento, and she and her husband, Casey Cuela, who's also a local boy. So that's their little boy, Bennett, born in August. And that's a little picture, but the big picture is when he's getting a bit of his personality. He's very, very, he's very fun. We think he's a wise soul. At least that's the grandparents' read on the whole thing at this point. But the other good news is that Lacey's a family nurse practitioner, and she and Casey are moving back to Humboldt County. She's going to be working at there's a clinic there connected with Red Memorial Hospital. So she's going to be a practitioner there. So that's coming up in March. So that's the good news from our front at this point. So very happy about all that.
Wonderful. I just want to squeeze those cheeks.
Yeah,
My
he's
goodness.
cutie. Thanks, everybody.
Well, thanks.
And I put in the chat the email for recognitions. I'm sort of trying to send out emails to others who are kind of a group at a time to try to spur some recognitions along. But if you have anything, send it along and we'll get it in. So thanks, everybody.
If you're not the kind of person that likes to toot your own horn, brag on somebody else. No bigger compliment than pointing out something good that somebody else is doing. And Joyce would love to get those recognitions flowing in so we can have some of these more frequently, because I know we're all enjoying life and doing good stuff out there. So thank you, Joyce.